welcome back everyone to the second hour of episode 19, was it, of the Long Voyage?
Yes, that's right. It was 19.
Alright, well,
The something.
the something. We are, what's it called? We are on the road again, ha 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 ha, with these, with all our merry band of Vikings and friends, to a distant and as of yet slightly uncertain destination. And you are coming down into a into plains where, as mentioned, there are just rice paddy after rice paddy after rice paddy, and here and there, dotted throughout the landscapes, of course, you can see villages as well, small, villages of various kinds. That sort of goes without saying. These people working these rice paddies have to live somewhere, obviously.
They do.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
Imagine it provides a sense of, okay, this is actually fairly safe. We'll see anyone coming at us a mile off, but it is also going to be unspeakably boring.
Yeah, it's it's a case of I spy with my little eyes something beginning with R.
Right.
Right, your turn.
My little eye, something starting with path. Yep.
Exactly. So it's not all that varied, but it is well, at least it looks reasonably safe.
It does.
You would be able to see anyone coming at you from a considerable distance, and in any case, nobody seems to be particularly keen on attacking what's clearly an armed escort, such as yourselves and the soldiers. So
Especially not with five such strange creatures alongside them.
Exactly. To anyone coming the other way, and now that you are here, you do in fact start encountering people coming in the other direction, which is sometimes a bit of a problem, because the roads are very narrow and not always suitable for two carts to pass side by side. And there are a few situations where Litang has to basically pull rank to get whoever you come across to back up 3 miles, or they don't use miles, but it's the equivalent thereof, until they are able to, you guys can get by. And at least once it ends up with a situation where he basically orders his troops to lift the cart that you have encountered out of the road, and okay, put it back afterwards, but move it out of the way so you guys can all pass it. He does look if he could get you guys to help lifting this heavy thing too.
Yes, as I say, we should.
Sure.
I'm almost surprised we should have done it with our wagon, even if it would have been a bit of a ride for the poor mistress within. But still, we turn it into a sedan chair.
Yes. The hilarious thing, of course, is that the people in the what is it called?
The other wagon.
In the other wagon or cart, as it is the owner of it is a farmer basically, and he takes one look at these enormous people suddenly turning up and moving his property out of the road, and suddenly he's in absolutely no hurry to claim that he was there first.
We nicely put it back again. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's just very he's very, very happy that you do so, because he's bowing and scraping but the point that you guys put it back on the road, he is terrified of you guys.
And Ilva's ends it all with a "Have a nice day" in Imperial. Turns around and follows the others.
Poor man.
So yeah, you are in fact you are reasonably unobstructed. Not too many people get in your way. Again, it's only a problem when you come across a stretch of the road where it is so narrow that you literally can't pass another cart. But it's not generally speaking a problem.
Not expecting. We don't meet anyone coming the other way on the road who actually outranks Li Tang or
No.
doing there.
Well, not just him, but the young woman in the in the wagon.
Her rank, really.
Yeah. So, but it takes you again several days where the only thing you see is rice paddies, and the occasional village, admittedly, but that is all you see for days.
Mm-hmm.
You would never even in a place like Tearglass, you would never see farmland like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Frodi is bored. And everyone gets to know it.
But he did also want to practice some new things, didn't he?
Yes, aside from playing games with the girls,
Yes.
he's definitely, when he's not writing and not complaining about his sore bum, he is.
Yes.
How would one go about practicing something like that?
A lot of meditation.
Yeah, I was about to say visualize, then
Yes,
execute.
exactly.
Well, in that case, he spends a lot of time sitting in one of the wagons with his eyes closed, and
Going
brow
om.
furrowed. He's clearly
Be
concentrating
the
on something.
spell.
Yes.
Be the magic that flows.
Yes.
On
On the night of the second night after you made it out of the mountains, you've made temporary stoppage in the caravan, such as it is. The small group of wagons have stopped in a village. It's not large by any stretch of the imagination, but it is at least, there are at least people there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an inn as such, but they do have a place where the local farmers go to have a mug of cheap rice wine, and that basically serves as the place where you guys get a hot meal from. They cook, something to eat. But there is no place, even for some, they can't even find a single decent room in which to install the young lady in the entire village. It is a shithole, to put it in plain English.
Yep, it's the kind of place where the best chance of a decent meal is made of pig whiskers and swallow spit. Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Yeah,
But
it's one of those. Yeah. Okay, so what do we do with the situation? Because a young noble lady like this can't be expected to live in peasant accommodation.
no, she genuinely can't, and of course it means that she will still sleep in her cart. It's the only option, is that she sleeps in the cart. But at least it's a safer place, because again there are other people here. It's also a place where you can get, as I said, some a hot meal, if nothing else. It's better than nothing by a very small amount.
I mean,
The bed isn't moving.
It's slightly better than nothing.
yes.
And but
Yes.
you've stopped there, and at this point Arching has broken open the barrel of of good rice wine. He's shared a cup with Gylfi first because at least those two have hung out before, so he's shared a cup of rice wine with him. But then once you get to this place, he shares a bit of it with everyone.
Ah,
That's
very good of
very
him.
nice of him.
And,
Yes.
So yeah, it's almost, you'd say it's almost a depressing kind of place. It's poor. People here are deeply, deeply impoverished. This
Yep,
is,
it's
they
it is-
are, for you guys, they have less than many of the thralls you've seen back in the Southlands.
Wow.
Oh shit.
yes. How? I don't say this to be insulting, and Sindri's saying this to everyone, to the guys around him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say this to insult these people, but how can they possibly live like this?
There are some embarrassed looks from the Imperials between each other. Just like, who wants to answer that very obvious question?
Yes,
And-
please address the mammoth in the room.
Yes. In the end, Li Tang is the one who he clears his throat and he says, "Obviously, not everyone in the Empire lives like this. Not every person working the land lives in such a manner, should be said. The manner in which each individual noble runs his or her lands is up to them. It also obviously says quite a lot about what kind of people they are."
Hmm.
So this is allowed?
It is permitted, yes. Fortunately, Lord Bao is a better man than this.
Deplorable.
I imagine they don't have much ability to choose where they go.
Oh no, not at all. They are indentured to the lord whose land they work. They don't own the land they work on. They get a portion of the rice that they grow, depending on the noble. It's a smaller or larger portion, and I can certainly see that in this particular area it's smaller.
Yes, I imagine if they had a choice, they would want to go somewhere where they had a lord like yours.
I think that kind of goes without saying. This is
Well-
the sort of thing that Kanashi is known to oppose. He doesn't like it when people treat commoners badly.
Kanashi was at the Sword of the Dove, right?
Yes.
Then I suppose it is unfortunate that you have only one sword.
For something as large as the Empire, it does leave a lot of nooks and crannies in which to hide misdeeds or ill treatment.
Have you ever had more than one?
No. You can only have one sword. It's only possible to have one.
Yeah, but a place like Tier Glass is shared among several.
I understand. You mean yes, very, very clearly so. There has been hundreds, in fact, that have been killed off over the years by each other and eventually by Kanashi.
Alright.
It's the Empire has been expanding continuously since it was founded. It has never stopped expanding.
That would certainly leave it quite large, assuming it is as old as the Southlands.
How long does it take to... You mentioned Tearglass before. This is Ren butting in. He says, you mentioned Tearglass as being a place where they had more people than in the Southlands, but they weren't as large, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, do you know how long it would take to travel across a place like Tearglass?
Oh, we did get an estimate at some point, didn't we?
Yeah, it takes...
Didn't we also sail along a big portion of the coastline?
Yes, you did. And you were told that at one point that if you had a really good horse and nobody got in your way and nobody bothered you and you could just ride pretty much from dawn till dusk every day, maybe a little more than till dusk, you would be able to make it from the southernmost tip to the northernmost tip in 18 to 20 days.
Three repeats this.
Yes. And Ren nods and says, yes. He says and thinks, you would need 10 times that time to travel across the Empire.
Huge.
200 days, I would estimate, would be, and Li Tang nods and says that's probably pretty accurate.
You must have many very different sites then.
Very much so, and very varied people as well. But all who are conquered must subject themselves to imperial culture. It's part of how it is done.
This does not give you problems?
Occasionally. But defeated and therefore irrelevant people have nothing to stop the conquerors with, and eventually they come around to our way of thinking.
I guess it's better to subject themselves than be irrelevant.
Indeed, and it's better to subject themselves than to be killed outright, which at least some emperors in the past have done to people who wouldn't. So yes, I would definitely say that there are very great differences between your home and ours, definitely. But I have to admit, and again, this is Ren saying this. I must admit, I don't like seeing this kind of treatment of people either. It's not that every person who works the land should be incredibly wealthy necessarily, but you shouldn't have to look like you're on the verge of starvation. You should be able to live a good life if you work the land.
Yeah. Well, where are you from?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm from the imperial capital. I was born there.
How far is that away?
Oh, about 60 more days of travel.
Yeah, I'm good at walking, but not that good.
Don't worry, your feet will get used to it.
I imagine in a city that large that people are also quite unequal.
Unequal, yes. Well, they are. You have the emperor living there, so yes. Compared to him, everybody else is unequal. And you have beggars in a place like that. It's hard to avoid. But it's not... It is a place where there is opportunity to be had for most people. And I cannot say that there is for everyone.
It's amazing what a big difference you see from the Southlands to here. In Tear Glass, we met a. Well, he wasn't exactly human. They wouldn't die unless the sickness or someone killed them. They called themselves the She.
Right?
They had pointy ears and they lived in something called the Barrows. A huge forest, if I understood him correctly. There they didn't actually just procreate to procreate. Everyone had a place so they wouldn't be beggars. When they were born, they would have a place in the society. There were very few as well.
That must be incredibly dangerous. I mean, a single war could wipe them out.
If I understood it correctly, the Barrows would protect them. I'm not sure how, it's a forest.
Well,
But I have seen their... I think it was some of their dead. At least
Right.
I didn't talk about them as their dead. The ones we saw in the forest, skeletons that started shooting at us because they were buried nearby.
that sounds very unpleasant. Li Tang
It
is
was!
clearly slightly irked by the idea of dead things getting up and actually shooting.
The things we have seen, I would never have thought they were true either, but there were skeletons shooting at us, and they were surprisingly good at it with their bow and arrows.
Right. I'm right. I can see how that might work, but it just seems like such a fragile way of doing things to me, says Ren. And
You should remember that they don't die unless they are killed. That would at least leave many of them that would otherwise die if they were.
true. It also means that obviously they must individually be, they have such a long time to be incredibly skilled at whatever they do. So presumably, a warrior who has lived for a few hundred years and would have experience that none of the rest of us could hope to match.
I suppose it might be similar to how there are many people from Tier Glass, but few of us, yet we are still a threat because we are much more powerful individually.
I guess. Yeah, that. Yes, I can see why. He says I can definitely see why. Anyway, he says and gets up. I think I shall get some sleep because,
Yes, that's a good idea.
Oh, I can hear you! Hi. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, you lost sound.
All sound disappeared.
Oh,
So I was just like, can they even hear me? And then I started saying hello, and
now we can hear you.
Nothing happened.
Well, now we can hear you at least. You must
Well,
have,
what was the last thing you heard?
when you described about the she.
Yeah, but how far did I come with that?
You got to not being able to kill, or they would only die if they,
Oh, if they got sick,
Yeah.
or if...
yeah, and then there would be
if
no
killed.
beggars because of that, because they all had a place and so on.
They all had a place because they all
Yep.
got so old.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we continued the discussion about that.
Okay.
So but anyway, Ren gets up and says that he's going to go and get some rest because it's getting late. He would like some sleep.
Yep.
And Li Tang he says, well, I shall go and arrange some guard shifts with my men. You guys should all get a good night's rest here. We're gonna have a long drive ahead of us.
Yep. Elva goes, takes her regular place near Liling's cart.
Yes. Well, you all get to go to sleep, get some rest.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Thordy spends some more time visualizing before going to bed at
Yes.
least.
Yes. Eventually, obviously, he's going to need some rest too.
Also, he asked the bones about, tomorrow. How will our day tomorrow be?
The bones say that your tomorrow will be determined by your tonight.
In that case, before he goes to bed, he will tell whoever's on watch to be extra on watch.
Yep, they will be. They take your advice. They know, obviously, you are what they call Mahotskai, so you know magic, and they listen when somebody who knows magic makes warnings.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he's the
tries
worst
his,
secret.
He tries his very best to explain to them that I foresaw that blah blah.
Yes,
But with a limited language, that's difficult.
it is difficult, but yes.
My boner tells me.
Oh, no comments. Ew.
Well, he should do like Ilva then and really practice it.
Yes. All right.
Not the boner, but you know what I mean.
And well, you all get some shut eye then at some point. Yes, and yes, I've seen Sindri's going to take a shift at some point as well. But you all get some rest at least. And you while you fall asleep easily enough, and probably with a slight smile on your faces for the most part, because you've had rice wine, and rice wine is good. And then the first thing that happens is that Gylfi wakes up, and you are in a room somewhere that you don't know. You have never seen this place before.
Look like a stone wooden room.
It's actually quite dark. It's quite dark, but it is. You can kind of, you can tell where the walls are. They're made from stone. It's cool rather than cold here. And when you open your eyes and look around like this, it's completely dark at first, but your eyes get used to the darkness after a while. And then a torch flickers and comes to life on the wall.
Gylfi covers his eyes.
Yeah, because
Dark blind.
yes. But you manage to do so that you don't get blinded by that. But as you realize this, and you feel kind of groggy, almost like you haven't quite slept enough. And then suddenly, next to you, on the floor of this room, out of nowhere, Ilva appears, asleep. Except she then wakes up almost immediately after appearing.
Gylfi looks at Ilva. Just. She pinches Ilva.
Is she really there, or is it just something?
She's definitely
Oh
there.
shit! Ow.
Sorry.
You see the same thing, of course, Ilva. These stone walls. There's a single torch on the wall, giving off, torchlight. Haha. And then there's you and Gylfi, and that's it. Nobody else.
Silva sighs very deeply. Didn't actually think she'd enforce it if I didn't do it.
What?
Raven Lady said grow up, basically. And stop being moody and go talk to you.
Hey. Continue.
Why?
because I don't know. You seem to know more about this predicament than I do.
Well, I don't know if this is it, because it wasn't the same place, but this has happened a couple of times where I show up somewhere weird and the Raven Lady steps out of the shadows.
Mhm.
This is just the first time you're here too.
And just as you say that, Sentry appears, asleep. Except he also wakes up almost immediately.
Now this is strange.
Okay. So either there is some sick magic and dark magics involved. Sorry if I'm using appropriate. or I don't.
What is going on?
Yeah, I no longer know either. I'm not mad at you.
I promise I didn't spice up the wine.
Oh, well, maybe someone else did.
No, because you just appeared. I don't think there are drugs that can make you appear out of nowhere. If they are, I want them.
Sindri, he looks around the room to see if there's any other details about it. I mean, is there a door?
Nope.
No
You
door
can't
out.
You don't even have the faintest clue how you would have gotten in here in the first place, because there are no doors and no windows.
It's a pure.
No
so it's,
ceiling?
There's a roof over you.
But it's basically just a giant block of
You're
stone.
inside a stone box made from all the the walls are not one big stone. It is a like a stone wall in a castle, for example. But yeah.
Is there any indication? Is there any kind of like even a small opening anywhere in the stone?
None whatsoever.
How much longer do we have until we run out of air?
This with the fire burning.
Yeah. I wouldn't actually put considering anticipating that the others will be joining us shortly. Even so, would like to go over and try to extinguish the fire.
It won't go out. And
Actually,
right as you try to do that, Frothy appears.
Did someone say fire?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brody.
Is there any movement of the air in the room, or is it just stale? Is there a draft or?
None whatsoever. It's stale.
Brody, you know magic. What happened?
Does this feel like a vision?
If it is, it's the first time you've all had a communal one.
Thrody, I don't know, taps the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Does anything happen?
It's stone.
Taps the floor.
That's stone too.
This is turning into a text adventure video game, folks.
He tries very
Syntax
carefully to
error.
touch the flame.
Your fingers passed right through it. It doesn't burn.
Well, that's certainly not normal.
I mean, yeah.
Well, if you're here, I'm just waiting for Baggy too.
Yes, maybe we should wait. This, with the fake fire, could definitely be a vision of some sort.
But a communal one? In a box made of stone?
Baggy does appear, and then he promptly turns over on the other side and keeps snoring.
Ah, Buggy, you.
I envy the man. He can sleep from anything.
Yep.
Well, to put you at ease, Ilva, if the stone walls collapse and we all die, then you'll know it's not a vision. Unless we wake up afterwards.
Your sense of what's comforting is disturbing. Really.
Well, I don't know what to do, so I might as well wait and see if something changes.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, good.
it takes a while, and you have no idea how long, because you have no sense of time. The torch isn't burning down, and you have no fixed points of light anywhere, or anything that indicates time's passage. So the only thing you have is basically your own breathing to go by, and people
I was about to say, since he actually knows breath control, I think Brody will sit in the corner and count his breaths.
That is, if he has breath control, that really helps. Then after about 700 breaths.
He's getting impatient.
Mm-hmm. At that point, it's probably a little like, okay, happen, whatever it is. But suddenly, a doorway opens in 2 walls opposite each other.
Interesting.
You can't see what lies beyond the doors. It's black in there.
Don't tell me this is some sort of stupid test.
Maybe it's a smart test.
I'm signing out. I don't do smart. I do violent.
Right. I think Thrody tries almost reflexively to control the fire in the torch, just to use it to light up elsewhere.
Yeah?
I assume it doesn't work.
It doesn't. You can't. It's really strange. You can't control the flame because there's no flame there.
Oh, right. Can I take it?
The torch?
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
When you try, you realize that, again, your finger passes straight through the torch itself. There is nothing there.
Well, they are opposite each other. Are they on the walls opposing each other that's not with a light on it?
Yes.
As in the torch is facing another wall, and then on the sides there are the doors.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, well, we'd probably have to choose one or split up.
Give me a perception hearing roll, everybody, please.
I were almost about to roll through this hearing until I realized, no, stupid, you're Ilva.
Aha!
What you doing in my character sheet?
I don't know either.
How did you get to?
You're actually doing rather well. Okay. Ilva doesn't notice this, but the rest of you all hear. You all hear something from one of the hallways that has opened beyond the doors. You can't see what is in there, but you do have a clear spatial sense in front of you that there is something beyond that, like a hall of some kind. And you can hear something from within it. It is very,
Well, Gilfy goes in.
very,
Wait.
very, very soft sound of movement and very faint sound of breathing.
Gilfy goes in.
Gilfy, if how you wake up with the shits tomorrow, I'm gonna strangle you.
No. I remember what those did. This is not it. Shh.
It
Well,
isn't?
it's something different. Let's go.
What is different?
So you're all heading into the room with the sound, basically.
Oh well, are we armed?
Nope.
I am.
Well, yeah, but
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think your magic is going to be of any use. Oh, this is out of character, but I don't imagine that your magic is going to have any more effect than if we had a weapon. But well, with Southlanders, we don't know fear, we don't know pain, we don't know anything really. So
I think you're forgetting to actually include Gilfy in that. Oh, so Hilva's just standing there. What's different?
Sound in here. Come on.
Let's have a look. Yes.
Yes, so you head into the in towards the sound,
There's no sound. You guys are silly.
and you hear when you get in there again. There's absolutely no light in here whatsoever. The moment you step in there, you can't even see the light behind you from the room you just left. You are in complete, total darkness. And you hear again this sound. It's slightly louder now because when you can't see, the other senses take over and compensate as best they can, so you can hear it a little bit better. There is definitely something in here, but what it is, you can't really tell.
Why are we in here again?
You can hear it now as well, Ilva. You can tell there's something in here now. You're not alone in this place.
I don't know why we are why we are in here. We are striving now to find out.
And just as Gofi says that, something slightly wet and cold is pressed against your neck, and a moment later you realize that you're being sniffed, and then something licks you. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel like a gesture of affection.
Does it feel big?
Yes. Very.
It was on your neck, meaning it's tall enough.
Gofi is like just whispering.
He's doing what you said?
Gofi just like whisper because he cannot mouth to people because they cannot see him.
Yeah.
So he's just like saying like big.
What is big?
I don't want to alarm you all. Something is licking me.
Oh,
Ew, not in here too.
that gives me an idea.
Okay.
He tries his best to put into practice what he's been visualizing.
Yes.
Licking Gofi?
No.
Ew.
Yes, he's been spending the last few days visualizing licking Gilby. That's now what he does. He tries to enhance his senses.
Sigh. Ugh. Okay, you try to enhance your senses. Give me in this case, what sense are you focusing on?
Well, it's very dark, but
Yes.
I heard some animals can see in darkness.
So you're trying to see.
Yes, let's see if we can manage that.
Okay. Then I need a perception sight from you. There is a significant penalty because of the darkness, obviously, but you get your magery as a bonus. Your level in magery.
Oh, cool. I think my majory PI bonus level says 1.
Okay. So you
I
get.
think that's it.
Yep. Then you get a -3, but a +1, so you get a sight roll at -2.
Oh.
All right. So you.
Well, it is right on.
Yeah, but I didn't enter any modifiers.
Right. Okay. So it's you don't manage. No, but you do. It is a valid method of trying, definitely, and but you can't focus enough. Probably because right around this time, something huffs in your face, like it is standing right in front of you and scoffing at you almost.
Does it smell nasty?
It smells like somebody who's got very bad breath, yes.
That would describe most animals. And many
And baggy.
people.
And buggy.
Margie is comfortably back in the other room sleeping.
Yes.
I
Are you
think-
sure? Can you actually see if it's him?
Thrody clears his throat and blinks a few times because, that didn't work. And he says, hello there. And tries reaching out in the direction of the hut.
Yeah, it's whatever is there. You can feel something. It's like your hand passes through something completely insubstantial, but there's just enough resistance that you're pretty sure you did touch something.
Ah,
Yeah, Ilva is feeling around, trying to find either whatever is in there or the wall to follow.
Yeah, your hand touches something soft for maybe a third of a second, and then it passes. And then you can't feel anything.
Woo! It's us touching smoke for a brief second and then it just dissipates. Weird. Where did it go?
It didn't actually.
Flail, flail, flail.
Oh, flail, flail. No, it doesn't. You can't. Yeah. You can't catch it again, so to say.
Aww.
I don't know.
Unfair, Smoke. Come back here.
Yeah, Gilfie's like, I don't know. Maybe we'll try to be Imperial. Gilfie's like, what is your name? Is it your domain?
The thing, you can't see a thing at all, but you have a distinct feeling that it is focusing on you now, Gilfie. You are asking it a question, and it is definitely paying attention to you, and it doesn't answer you, but it moves over to you, and you again have, for maybe a third of a second, something touches your hand. It's not soft. It actually feels like something is nibbling on your hand.
Is it how does the nibble feel?
Painful. It nibbles hard.
Okay. Gilfie takes to take the
You can feel that you're bleeding, not badly, but you know that it's scratched you enough that you are in fact bleeding.
Okay, so Gilfie does not move his arm,
No.
but he says but now in like louder and more like confident. What's your name? Is it your domain?
It doesn't respond. It doesn't answer you.
Okay, so then Gilfie just tries to force onwards.
Yep, you try to move. Okay. Well, you can do so. You can certainly move. After walking for a few seconds, you come face to face, as in literally face to face with a wall.
Okay, they're just wall.
Yeah, just a wall.
He walks into a wall.
Yes.
What happened? I heard
He's not walking fast, so it's oop. He's like, dead end.
Did you find the wall?
I did.
Alright. Well, maybe we can follow the wall out. There must be a door somewhere.
Just does like touch on the door around, on the walls around. Is it just a like dead end corridor?
No, there's you can follow the corridor, definitely.
Did you get the impression that it understood Imperial?
Well, it definitely seemed to pay attention to me.
Oh. Well, Ilva tries then.
Yes.
Having actually trained the language a little.
Yes.
Could you make some light for us, please?
It doesn't respond, and in fact, you all have a feeling that you're alone now. Whatever it was isn't here.
Aw, it left us.
This definitely feels like a dream.
I'd hoped it would put on some light for us. I wanted to see it.
I was just about to ask it if it knew that their other spirit thing, Yoshiko, or whatever.
Yoshiko.
Yes, that one.
I think that's how they pronounce it. Well, let's go to Gilfy. He found the wall. Maybe we can follow it out.
Yeah, Gilfy just puts like one hand on the wall and just tries to follow the corridor. I just fall onwards.
So, yeah, you follow the corridor, and after a while, you get to the first thing you've encountered here that is not made of stone. You get to a door. You can feel the door. You can't see it, but you can feel it. You can feel that it's wood.
Sindri, are you with us?
Yes.
It's hard to know if you're there. I just realized how quiet you always are.
Trying to observe the situation, what little there is to observe.
No. Observed anything interesting yet?
Other than this is a horrible situation, and I'd like to get out of it, find the person who put us in it, and kill them.
Why kill them? If they wanted us dead, they could have killed us already. We don't even have our weapons.
I've seen the last thing that was a threat to us did decide to play with its food before eating it. I don't want to go through that again.
Was that the shadow thingy? And the thingy.
The smoke creature we fought back near Long One.
Ah, that one. He was an asshat.
Yes, so forgive me if I'm not feeling too forgiving of people who put us in morbid situations like this one.
Well, they do tell of their kami. Maybe it's one of these. I mean, the weird smoky thingy in the other room didn't murder us. Just left.
Gilfy tries to feel on the door while they are talking.
I do hope this isn't... Well, that's a good point, actually. If we're moving through this place... Is this place actually real?
That's a good question.
Sindri has a thought. If this place is in any way real, it might be worth not leaving Buggy behind in the other room.
There's a point to that. Ilva starts backtracking.
Yep, you can't get there.
Ah.
There's no light, you have no idea what way to go, and as you feel your way around the wall, you realize that there is no exit back the way you came.
Fuck.
This is strange.
Gilfy goes back to the door.
Let's press on.
Yep, go back to the door.
He knocks.
Onwards to new exciting adventures in
There's no response to the to you knocking on the door, none whatsoever.
I guess nobody's in. And he tries to open the door.
Yes, you look, so you can open it, and you look into the next room, and there is a creature there that you can see because there are a couple of torches there. It's a fairly large room. And you see this lounging in the middle of the room on a piece of rock.
That's is that what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
I think
I think it's an ice reaver.
Yes, it
That's
is.
majestic.
That is in fact an ice reaver.
Is that an ice reaver? But it looks like a kitty cat.
An ice reaver is an absurdly oversized feline hunter with
Yes.
massive, enormous saber-toothed kitty-like fangs and the foulest temper under the sky. They are absolutely murderous beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's just lounging there.
It is just lounging there, and it's clearly aware that you guys are there because it's looking straight at you.
Gilfy approaches.
Ooh.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Get back here!
We're in Dreamland. Let's just dream.
Yeah, Ilva's already following him.
You don't fucking know that. Oh, you suicide! You don't fucking know that. Stupid.
Curiosity killed the cat
No, he
and the
just
battle
slightly.
maiden.
Did I become a hunter for nothing?
Yeah, he just slightly turns
Suicidal
into the.
idiots.
Yeah, he just slightly turns into the into Sindri. It's like, you are a hunter. Have you seen Ice River Long?
No, but I'm not particularly keen to find out
And
what
have you
that is.
do you realize that we are not in South?
It pays
That's
to
a
be
point.
cautious.
Oh, mighty
But if-
Ice Reaver, impart upon us your wisdom.
Well, as you walk closer, and this thing is just, again, it's laying there on a huge. It's like a almost like a cliff that's sticking out of the ground. It's lying up, on the side of it, lazily dangling a paw down in front, looking at kind of. It looks down at all of you with this, what are these tasty morsels doing in my home sort of expression on its face. And as you get closer, two of these creatures walk out next to it and stand on either side of it.
A wolf?
That is a direwolf.
Ooh.
Are there direwolves in the Southlands?
Oh yes.
Interesting.
Is this to be?
Do they just look like they are just? Do they look like escort?
Yes,
So they.
that's actually a good expression. Yes, it looks like they are protecting the Ice Reaver.
Then Gilfy stops at the respectable distance.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped at the distance that you would stop during an audience
Yes.
with something,
Okay.
and he looks at the Ice River,
Mm-hmm.
and if this doesn't work, it was nice knowing you, and he does something reminiscent of a courtly bow.
Yes.
And it's like,
So you're showing the great beast some respect,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's mimic it.
right? When you do you all do that, or I'm asking because I'm not sure if Sindri is going to take his eyes off it.
I think
Well, Ilva stops right beside Gilfy and does the same.
Okay.
Sindri will definitely be the last to do it, and reluctantly. But if the others do it and nothing happens, then
Then he does so as well. Okay.
yeah, if it's a vision, then it's a vision, and things the natural laws of nature and physics don't apply in visions. So you can do things like kneel before an Ice Reaver and not have it tear your head off.
Yes.
Sure.
So
Why
yes, you do bow, all of you, and as you all stand up straight again, you realize that there are now probably also 20, maybe 25 ravens all sitting around on the cliff, on the rock formation, sitting there all beady-eyed and staring at you. They weren't there before, but they're certainly there now.
It's a regular welcome
ravens.
home party.
yeah. And Gilfy's looking at the Ice River like he keep quote unquote eye contact, and it's like,
Yes. The the Ice Reaver is looking at Gilfy because he's the one who started this whole thing. He's looking at you with this sort of detached, lazy sort of I don't want to bother with you, but okay, you are here, so speak.
like Gilfy's looks perplexed, think for a second, and it's like, we're sorry to We're sorry to be invading your home. But
You,
the
you are strange.
A what?
You are all strange. The cat says and licks one of its paws.
that we are.
No, I don't think you understand me. You are alive.
Huh.
That's good to hear.
That makes you wrong.
If you don't mind me asking, why is that strange?
Oh, that would take a while to explain, and I cannot be bothered. No, I think you have seen quite enough already. Yes, I think it is time for you to leave, all of you. Please do not return. And as it says so, over the cliff, from behind the cliff, flies several more ravens. They turn into a small cloud of ravens, in fact. They're all beating their wings. They're all screeching. It's all quite unnerving, really, because they're all coming straight at you. And the last thing you all realize, or the last thing you all see, before you're basically enveloped in ravens at all sides, is that one of them is bright red. And then you all wake up simultaneously at once back where you started, except of course for Baggy, who was still snoring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Forty sits up.
Ilva looks around with a, "Aw, but it was pretty."
That wasn't just me then.
No. How
Yeah,
interesting.
it was just you.
Well, it's good to know that we're all communally descending into madness.
Right.
No.
I'm sure it was some sort of vision-like experience.
I don't care
Yeah.
what it was. I need it to make sense, damn it.
Ilva slaps her arm around Sindri with a, "Don't worry, we all go together when we go."
If you want things to make sense, you should be glad you're not a seer.
I would not celebrate yet. I don't think we are out.
No, he asked us to leave, but how do we leave?
Is the other
other
passage
way?
open?
Yeah. Yes,
What?
the other-
Sorry?
Is the because we chose the passage that made noise,
Yes?
or is the other passage open?
No, you've woken up, basically. You're
Oh,
yeah.
Back in.
Oh,
back in the camp.
we're outside.
Yes, you're
We're
back
at
in the camp.
okay.
Yes, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, you're back. Sorry,
because
I'm.
you said back when you started, and like, okay, so we are in the start.
Yeah,
no,
I understood it as
that,
the.
that's my bad. I'm
Right.
sorry. No, you sit upright in camp.
Uh-huh.
Well, Gilfy pulls out his pipe. Lights it. Puffs. Well,
Were I the only one noticing that one of the ravens were red?
Nope, I noticed it too, and I had a vision about it a few days back as well.
Hmm.
I think what we're doing here might be important. I also think I can catch a raven and shout at it until I can see that Gangario is watching, so I can tell her what I saw, but
You
Catch
don't
you.
need to. I'm already here. She says.
Ilva were
and
about
walks-
to say, "Well, I spoke with her for a couple of days ago," and
Yeah.
then she talks.
Yeah, she basically comes around one of the wagons. At this point, you probably realize that you woke up back in camp, but there's nobody else there.
Oh, I am.
Goofy just rubs his temples.
A dream within a dream.
Is that
Lady-
so unusual? I think that someone like Frothy would tell you that dreams within dreams are more common than you'd think.
Absolutely. Never experience waking up and then realizing that, oh, and then you woke up.
Precisely. But you are all here, so clearly there is something common in all of this.
Yeah, Goofy just tries to make himself as small and unnoticeable as possible.
Was
Right. Have you... How do I put this?
was it you who sent us to speak with the Ice Reaver?
No, that was not me, but the ravens tell me where you are. I knew you'd be here, and I need to talk to you. You are very far away from the Southlands by now. Talking to you like this is difficult. I do not believe I shall do so again for quite some time. It is important to me that you understand why you have been seeing me and what it is you are doing for me. So, any guesses?
Are we fulfilling some sort of part of the Hoffensaga?
Well, everything in the end is about the Raffensaga, is it not?
I guess.
But everything in the end is also about an incomplete picture.
So are we painting a little more onto that picture?
Yes, indeed. Was it not your grandmother who told me first of the Red Raven? I believe it was.
Three looks proud and nods. Good.
Sorry.
See,
Mute.
you see, what she told me, pretty much the only thing she told me, was, well, there were two sentences. The first one was, the Black Raven shall unleash the Red Raven, and the Red Raven shall fly. And the second one is, the wings of the Red Raven cannot be burned. I am old enough to know when nonsense is important.
Mm.
I care a great deal for Ormer. He's a good man, young as he is. I do wish him well. I wish sincerely that what had happened to all of you had not happened. And there will be consequences. Very dire consequences for the Phalanx. It's already being planned. But out of all this tragedy and loss, you who are here, you five, the role you are to play is more important than I can express to you. You are far more important, even than Ormer, and he must never know this.
I see.
You are the ones following the Red Raven, and I must know what you find. It is absolutely crucial. Learn what you can, even if it does not make sense to you. Learn what you can, and see to it that I am told in whatever means you can find, however you will go about it. Make sure that I am told.
Well, we did get a pair of rings where you can
Yes.
communicate with anyone at almost any distance. It hasn't been tested how far apart.
Well, if you have both the rings, it's unlikely that it would help me much, seeing as I am still in the Southlands.
Is there a way
Guys.
to send one back?
Not really, no. Not that I know of, anyway. Presumably magic could do it, but I don't know of anyone who's got Froliker that powerful.
No, it's
The
too
distance,
far.
the distance is vast.
And I don't suppose it would be safe to try and have the ravens carry it.
Not that far, they would never make it.
Is there a way we can attempt to contact you? To let you know that we have things to tell you?
Eventually you will be closer to the Southlands again. You may even return there one day. If you do not, write everything down. Entrust copies of it to people you trust.
Hmm.
Give
Nice.
Ormer a copy if you wish. Tell him not to break the seal, that it's on my orders.
I'll find something to write in and with as soon as possible.
I have to know what the Red Raven is doing in the Empire. I must know.
I had a, as you might have heard, a vision recently,
Tell me.
and he does, because I don't quite remember it word for word. And then I was back on the ship. I don't remember. Did I know it was the capital, or did it just look like a large city?
It was... you just knew that it was a large city. Very large. You've just been told how large the Imperial capital is. It's not a far stretch for you to put two and two together.
I'm going to ask one of the others tomorrow if I describe some of the things I saw, if he could confirm that it was the capital. He's supposedly from there.
Who is this person? Can you trust him?
Well, we don't know him that well,
No.
but I could make up an excuse and say that I had something that seemed like a vision. And I saw us arriving somewhere, and I would like to know if that was the capital.
I see. But you did say you had a vision about this place.
Yes, and the Red Raven.
I see. Well, I do wish you all luck. I must unfortunately leave. I will see you all again, I hope, later. If not, I shall see your story in writing.
I shall do my best to make sure you get a copy of it, even if not by my hands.
Then that is your charge, not just you, Frothy, but all of you.
If this is maybe the last time I see you, I do have a question.
By all means.
You see a lot from your ravens, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you happen to know where my family went?
Yes. I know.
Where?
the same place as the Phalons. Into the
She-
mountains.
She goes very quiet.
Whatever else, Uva, that does not define you. Your actions define you. And you are loyal. You are a battle maiden. Take pride in that.
Hilda nods, then straightens her back. Well, at least now I know why they left me behind.
They have no honor, but you do.
They know I would never follow, and I would do whatever I could to stop them.
Exactly. Now, as I said, I must go. Best of luck. She gets up, and she doesn't even move. She just fades in front of all of you. And then you wake up in camp. And there are other people there this time.
Are they awake? Have we been making noise, or have we just been sleeping quietly?
No, you've been sleeping quietly, but there are a couple of guards, obviously who are awake, but you all wake up pretty much simultaneously, which obviously does get some attention.
Yeah, well, Ilva is sleeping out by the carts.
Okay, yep.
She does sleep
Yeah.
near Liling's cart.
Yes.
She just sits
Guilty
up
light
and curls up, staring at the ground in front of her.
Guilty
Sindri,
lights up his, this time not dream pipe.
Yes.
Sindri sits up, looks around, sees the others, and then with a look of something resembling defeat, he just says, "I'm too old for this shit," and goes back to sleep again. He wants to rant about how inconsiderate the Raven Lady's appearance was when he was trying to sleep, but he knows better than to. He's not that suicidal, so he's just going to go back to sleep.
She can see your thoughts.
Yes, she can see my thoughts. So he's like,
Cody chuckles and mutters under his breath, "Pray you don't become a seer." And then he gets up because he needs to find out if anyone has a book he can get, or if they will be stopping somewhere where you can buy a journal or some such to write in.
Well, it's getting to be early morning. People are starting to wake up anyway. You do know that you've been playing Go and Tafel and so on with her, so you know that Liling has writing utensils and notebooks and so on, scrolls, whatever.
Well, is she one for rising early?
Not normally, no. She's a teenage girl.
In that case, I suppose I should sit near her
Yes,
wagon
yes.
and meditate on. This whole experience, while it definitely was about something else, was also a good inspiration for thinking and meditating about some stuff involving large predatory animals and senses.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
that's what he's going to do
Yes.
until she eventually wakes up and
Oh, she
can appear
does.
not to be a creepy stalker.
Yeah, she does come around.
Well, Elva will be testing his patience by poking him now and then.
Yes,
So you're basically
What are you doing?
you're booping him.
doing magic. If you disturb me too much, I might explode and take the whole camp with me.
Silence for a while and then a very interested ooh, followed by a poke on the nose.
Yes, Silva.
Just wanted to see if you exploded.
You're not that smart, are you?
Nope. Boop.
Oh heavens, this is funny though.
It is one of my prides. One of my big pride.
Do you know if...
And she's
know if-
also adding the boop when she says it. When she does it.
Do you know if Liling is awake yet?
She's not. even if she's sitting up looking at her with a questioning look.
Yeah, she is actually sitting right behind you by now with this whole, because the whole booping has woken her up. So she's like opening her mouth as if she's about to speak, and then she said, and then you say she's not, and she's like, oh, and then a smile spreads on her face as if, oh, it's a joke. I'm gonna play along.
Right.
I shall tell you though, don't worry. And then she starts spreading his hair. Putting flowers in it. After a while,
then.
while she's burning, and at some point she'll ask, "Hey, Leland, do we have some pretty ribbons?"
She doesn't answer, of course, but she does, take out a long ribbon of yellow silk.
She starts spreading that into his hair.
I think Tony opens one eye, just one, and looks at Neeling.
Then
Don't worry.
This is
She's only been awake for an hour or two.
This is just the time where Eileen walks past, looks at the whole thing with the flowers and the flowers and the silk ribbon in his hair, and she just, puts her head slightly to one side, and looks at Frothy, not at Ylva, but at Frothy, because he's the one this is being done to after all, and she says, I could do something with that look, but I'm not sure how you would look in a dress.
I would look fabulous, but that's not what I'm doing right now.
She actually, she hides her mouth with one hand because she's about to break out laughing.
Well, I can't say for the colors of the flower, but they do look symmetrical. At least I tried.
You've been pretty lucky. You've it's not a bad color combination or anything. She says it's just, yeah.
Don't worry, he's been in worse. When we were young, I weren't that nice to him.
No. This is Gylfi. This is Eileen speaking, not
Eileen.
Yes.
I had Li on.
No. She's just sitting in her wagon, looking out over the edge, looking in rapt fascination at what is being done with her yellow ribbon and so on.
Brody clears his throat. What do you mean when we were young?
What? Okay,
Still not that
young.
nice to me.
It was worse when I forced you in a dress.
I think, Eileen says, I think what she's saying is that maybe you were born with an old soul, or old essence, as she puts it.
Ah, that sounds good. I think I'll accept that.
Yes. It does give you a reason to be grouchy in the morning, doesn't it?
Oh,
No, that's usually me.
her.
I'd say if that's what makes his soul old, my soul must be fucking ancient.
Good morning, Sentry.
You're here to have your hair braided as well.
No.
Ilva were already reaching, and then okay, never mind then.
And if you
Then you can take my spot. I need to talk to Leland.
Alright. Ulva, if you try and boot me, I will break your finger.
I wouldn't boop you if my life
try.
depended on it.
That's good. See, we understand each other. It's
Mostly
been.
because you're about as cute as an ice reaver.
I'm usually cuter than this. It's been a
that
long
one was
night.
actually pretty cute, you have to admit.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, you were as cute as one of the ravens.
What is
No way, that's blasphemy.
What is
You're cute as that thing. And then she points at a snail.
What is it? What is an ice reaver? Says Leeling, and obviously there is no imperial word for ice reaver, so you kind of have to use your own. And she repeats that with, reasonable success. What is that?
Well, you have cats here, right?
Yes.
Then imagine a very big one.
Oh, like a tiger.
Striped.
Yes, like a tiger.
Brody
What's a
indicates with
tiger?
his hand how tall they usually are.
That's not a tiger.
Yeah.
That's like two tigers stacked on top of each other, at least.
Mm.
And then you have teeth this long.
Ugh. You
and
have
two of them in
those?
front. Yeah.
You would call that cute? I think that sounds really dangerous.
Oh, they are. But
Beautiful.
Most dangerous.
Ulva has a strange idea of what is cute.
I guess.
Well, it's monochrome, so I can see it's actually white and black. I don't have to guess.
Well, except of course they're actually white and blue, but okay.
Yeah, she doesn't know. She's
No.
only seen one.
So-
It's so light in the color that she thinks it's white.
Sindri coughs and looks away. Sort of,
What?
nothing at all. But the point is, they're wild cats. They hunt and they're vicious creatures. They put even our skills in combat to the test.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Hmm.
I think, she says, I think I shall be happy to not see one.
Hmm.
Well, but they're a sight to behold.
I'm sure they are. I'm also sure they would be the last sight I beheld.
Hmm.
Yes.
It
That,
depends
Yes.
on how fast you are.
no, it doesn't. It's not that fast.
Like, Gilfy walks up and like next to Sindri. He like puts out a finger to like in front, pointing as one. And like, you have to thing about the ice reavers is the first rule is when you meet one, you do not, I say do not, he moves closer to Sindri, boop.
No, he tries. He tries.
And
He tries.
he pulls Sindri on the snoot and just goes away.
No, he doesn't. Hold on.
Okay, let's have a an attempted boop
Yes.
and an attempted dodge.
Okay, so what do we roll? Dexterity.
Well, you have a dodge, and he's got. I would say that would be. That would probably be brawling. I mean, he's not doing damage, but it's still. Rolls boot the snoot. Yes.
Yes, I do not have a specific dodge skill listed.
No,
here.
you have a dodge stat. It's on your character sheet.
Ah, yes, so I do. I've got nothing to roll it with, though. I've got a. Yeah, there's no dice symbol next to it.
Nope. So you just roll against it.
You'd have done.
Okay. Let's see, what dice am I rolling?
Actually, I can see right next to it.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
There's actually
You
I
can
think
do
a
it.
dodge skill.
I was looking in the wrong
you're
area.
Probably seeing as I can take a look at them here. I think it's probably
No,
safer
that's-
to say that you're parrying or blocking.
Parrying.
So you know
Alright.
you're trying to shove his hand away when it comes at you.
All right, we can try that.
Your stats are better at that, so you'd probably play to your strengths, obviously.
Yes,
Unarmed parry.
Yes.
You can do it! Go, Gilfy, boop his snoot! Aww.
Sindri
You
manages
can
to
do it.
parry.
Yeah, he
Aw.
grabs your wrist.
Can I not roll my brawl?
Yes, you can. Oh, that's
Roll your
true.
brawl. That's true. Roll your thing and see
Well,
if
you
it
can-
comes out better.
Okay, and I will use my luck.
Okay.
Okay.
Go, Gilfy!
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
damn
You basically what
Oh,
happens
this-
is your finger comes in to do the booping, and his hands come up at like he's almost like he's catching a sword, in his hands, two palms meeting, and you have your fingertip is literally a fraction of an inch away from his nose, but you can't reach.
And he turns into alien. You see, like that.
You're really close, though. Nice work, Gilfy.
Sindri is probably getting slightly cross-eyed from looking at the finger.
As he's still looking at the finger, as he points his other hand finger at Ilva and just says, "Don't encourage him." And then to Gilfy says, "Well done. Don't sleep tonight."
You think I'd be able to do it, Gilfy? Right, it is a nice manicured finger. Ilva is looking at Gilfy. You think I would be able to do it? And then she stares at Sindri.
Certainly now when his hands are occupied.
Sure.
Hold on. What's the thing? What's the ability? What's brawl? You said brawling.
Yes.
Sindri extends his finger towards Gylfi's cute little button nose.
And tries to boop him, unless of
Yes.
course, Gylfi wants to avoid getting booped.
Of course.
Oh,
No,
God.
Gylfi's just like, yep.
Okay, so you're just taking the boop.
Mm.
Island just
He pretends
looks-
to be terrified. He pretends to be terrified. Did something cute.
Island looks somewhat confused at all of you, because this has just gotten quite strange.
Sindri looks at her and just says, "It's a Southlander ritual. It's hard to explain."
Oh, okay. She says she comes over and then very, very gently and she kind of unwraps your various hands from one another and just, make sure that Gylfi has his hands back where they belong and Sindri has his hands back where they belong, and she's just,
Yeah.
let's all be friends here. She just get a little nervous at all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, are we all okay?
Yeah, if they weren't, they would be fighting right now.
Okay, she says, and just okay, that's all right then. Oh,
It's all fun.
so it's all okay. That makes it easier, she says, and reaches up and boops Sindri's nose.
And Gylfi just stands behind the alien, looking at Sindri, and just double thumbs up, and like, yeah.
There's a long pause, and then he looks very intently at her and says, "Yeah, you get a pass,
Thank you.
but just you,
Okay,
just you."
Thank you.
And just for the audience interpretation of Sindri inside right now.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly his feeling. Get off.
The pretty lady booped my nose. Cootie, get them off me.
No, he's not. He is the oldest person of the five there. He's
Yeah,
just
he is.
four there actually. That's a good point because Buggy's still
Out
sleeping.
cold, yeah.
Yes, and making the occasional little farting noises apparently, according to what Gylfi said.
At least
he-
he doesn't sleep fab.
No, oh God, I don't want to think about that. Okay, yes, so that's. Sindri feels a bit cheered up. Either way, he didn't wake up in a good mood. But
Neither
yeah,
did Ilva, but that's Ilva.
exactly. So things are better now.
Yes. And all right, so you are all awake-ish.
Yes, and I assume eventually I get to ask Lily
Yes,
if
you
she has
do.
anything I can have or buy, or if she knows it will pass somewhere where I can acquire writing.
She wouldn't dream of having you pay for something like that when she's got plenty of writing utensils in the cart. So she lets you have a one of. She tells you that it's still empty. It was meant to be, the next volume of her diary, but she's got enough pages left that if she just, makes shorter entries, it'll be fine until they get somewhere. So you get that. And then she asks if you know how to use a brush with which to write.
Thordy is just about to answer when his player realizes, is there even a written system of Southlander?
There are runes.
There are runes.
There are runes, so it is possible to do so.
Question: can Frody even write?
That is the thing, if he can.
Gylfi can. Gylfi right, but
Unless you've actually spent point on it, you are not able to write.
No, that's the reason I was confused, because for some reason I thought Southlanders did not have a written system.
No, they do. They but it's only it's the rune language, and it's not used for you're not writing long books in it. It's used for writing short messages on a stick, for example. That's why the runes are kind of jagged. That's specifically because that allows you to carve them into wood with a knife.
Basically, they're Twitter.
In that case, no. And I'm considering whether it's easier to ask Gylfi to teach me runes or to learn to write in High Imperial, because that at least is made for actually writing.
It is, but it would by far be easier to do it in runes. We're letting Gylfi write it because High Imperial and writing is a system that takes people many years to master.
Right,
Also, if you die, who is supposed to actually translate it for the Raven Lady?
we'll
if
go on a
you're not
quest
assuming
to
she knows
capture
it.
her own Imperial citizen. But yes, he thanks her very much, and then immediately goes and puts a big strong arm around Gylfi. Hey there, buddy.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
What are you up to?
The South Lander booping call?
Well, sounds like you're not busy. You're going to teach me to write Raven Lady's orders.
I was there. There was no such order.
She specifically told us that it was our duty to write it down and give it to her when we could. And since I'm usually the guy having visions, it's easier for me to write it down. Don't worry, you can make all the copies. It'll be great. Think of it as brotherly bonding time.
Woo, you're learning how to write?
Yeah.
Woo, teach me, teach me.
Right, we can
He just massages,
student.
rubs his temples and like.
Come on, Gylfi, you love to teach. She smiles
I do,
very
yes.
widely.
Thrody leans in and whispers, "Don't worry, I'm actually a good student."
I'm a horrible one, but you'll survive.
Yeah.
I'll take that as
Sure.
a yes. Grand!
not? I need a
You just
drink.
have to spend a little less time with the ladies and more time with your family. That's great.
I need a drink.
On the upside, we have Ren with us, so when you're busy, you can just send them to her.
You can say no if you want to.
It's fine. It's
I like how
I'm
he
just-
says it's fine and looks like he's about to cry.
That's just Sindri. Not Sindri, that's just Gylfi.
Right. I'm off to see if I can find a place to wash myself, because traveling is dirty.
That's a very
I'll
good
find you
idea.
afterward.
like if Ilva would leave the group, he would probably try to catch up to Ilva midway, like just for them to be like on their own.
Yeah, Ilva is also stalking off to find a place to, wash herself, but she's
Well-
not following Frode for obvious reasons.
Yeah, he wouldn't go to as far as just to just stop Ilva, like catch up to her and stop her midway. It's like Ilva. Okay. First thing. I'm sorry for how I was behaving in on new place. I like new places, and I've been having troubles with the Southlander lifestyle for a while now. But I decided to follow the rules of Southlander, as so far I will be with everybody, and will be more reliable, or back to the same reliable as I used to be. And I just wanted to apologize for how I dismissed your opinion. I know, despite us disagreeing on at the time, I know it was coming from a place of caring.
He gets interrupted by a hug.
Yeah, he puts his hands around like, probably because she's bigger than him. I mean,
She's probably a little taller, yeah.
yeah, he probably like hugs her like more, to say womanly, but like over her neck instead of like waist. And after like when they stop the hug, she finds around her neck the little raven necklace.
But this is your father's.
Yeah. Well, I never told anybody, but as you probably figure out, I wasn't the only one left without a visit from Raven Lady.
She visited you?
Yeah, way back in the port town in Terglass. Way back when, on our first night in Terglass, actually.
The night I found you crumpled on a tree?
Yeah, that was soon
Well,
after.
that explains it.
She has told me she has told me a story about how you know, I assume you know about the honor that is the donning the black cloak for Raven Lady, obviously. I assume.
No, of course I don't know of that honor.
Yeah, I assume it's, I figure it might be one of your aspirations in life.
Of course not. That would be strange. Especially since I'm a battle maiden, that would just be strange.
Well, what would you say if I told you that that my father was one of the very few people to be offered this and refused?
Ilva just stares at him. I'd say he better have a very good reason.
Well, it was a good reason. It's up to your judgment, I suppose, but you looking at the reason.
Wait, was this after your mother died?
Yes.
Um,
And he, for some inexplicable reason, chose to raise me and to some degree my brothers, but they were old enough already to be able to go on their own, to raise me and train me and make me a man thing, all the things. And he does and he refused the honor, and as much as I want to believe in his judgment, I do not think he made the right one to this day. Well, it's up to, as well as the future will tell. Well, and since he never got the chance to, pass this to me, and I do think that To be fair, I just wanted you to have it just because I hope that you will one day be well, don the black cloak if you choose to, and I hope that you'll live up to your dreams and nothing will hold you back. No pointless attachment which will hold you back from achieving your dreams. Suppose so that's the thing. Well, I just want you to have it, and it's just for me it's just a grim reminder of a future that my dad could have had, and close he could have been alive right now, and at the side of the Raven Lady achieving glory and and great honors instead of being dead. Well, yeah.
Crap, I got something in my eyes. Simultaneously.
You're not crying, your eyeballs are sweating.
Yes. These are manly tears.
Yeah,
Okay.
Goofy is like, yeah. Well, I think you're going to do something. I'm not back anymore.
Don't you hate it when people find out, but when you realize that people were right all along? Gylfi, he didn't waste his life. He brought up a very good man. You.
Oh, thank you, kind words. I don't think I deserve them as of yet.
I'm not the only one who say that. Don't tell anyone. But the Raven Lady said it too. You are a very good man. And she hopes there'll be more of them in the Southlands in the future. You're not wasted effort, Gylfi. You're the fruit of good effort. Your father did good. I should really get this shit out of my eyes.
Yes. I want yeah, he just looks like he slightly just smiled at the
And I
like,
promise I'll try not to be so overprotective again.
It's fine. Please that I won't kill myself. And
Better
he
not,
just
I'll follow you and beat you for it.
just passes piece of cloth that he has just for her you can wipe her
Hey,
eye sweat and smiles slightly and nah. He just shakes his head nah, crying doesn't suit you.
I know it doesn't. And I'm not crying. I got something in my eye.
Duh. Oh,
It's raining. Can't you see?
Yes, it is. Indeed, it is. Yeah, I will get back to cooking. Probably there's some food to be prepared.
Yeah.
And he just turns around.
Yeah.
That way.
And I think that unless somebody has something they really want to insert here at the end, I think that is a good place to stop until next week.
Yeah.
And that is let's see. There's a lot of good character RP tonight, at least, so I'll give you 3 XP for it.
Yay!
And we will see our heroes again, or hear what happens to our heroes again in the next episode of the Long Voyage, which of course is then going to be episode number 20. Wow, we're coming up on you know, a big number here in 25, somewhere early in the new year. I should repeat what I think I mentioned last time we played, and if I didn't, then I'm going to bring it up now, that obviously over the holiday season with Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you're celebrating during that period of the year, there will be, let's just call it a severely reduced schedule here on CharismaToAC, quite simply because people aren't available for games when they are stuffing their faces with various forms of Christmas dinners and
New Year's hijinks.
And New Year's hijinks as well. So some of us will be seeing each other for New Year's at least. Not all of us. We do live in well, not only in different places but in different countries. But we are going to be back several times before we get to that. But it's just, you know, early warning that we will not be recording for a few weeks at least when we get closer to the actual holidays. And but other than that, and on that note, I will say I'll say bye for this week and see you next time. So from us here, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
The food.
Boop.